revamp this program. We started this particular program for high school students and college students during the pandemic. And then when everybody was out of pandemic, we took some time to retweak this program to make it more suitable for our mentees in a sense. And I'm just so glad to have all of you here, and so grateful for my colleagues, Caitlin and Tanya. They put in a lot of work to make this happen. Just before we get started, just please know that this is a very safe place. Everything you say only stay in here. We do I'm sure Caitlin was going to explain this to you, but there's no judgment at all. So just feel safe, and if you are uncomfortable sharing your concerns or asking questions with Mike, you can always private message to any one of us. And if there's anything you need outside of this class, you can always email that to the HS College at girlsconduct.org. That goes directly to Caitlin. Or if you send an email to info at girlsconduct.org, I am still monitoring that. So you can reach out to every one of us. We are always really, really happy to get connected. And so I will give it back to Caitlin, and have a great year. We are so excited to have you.
Thanks, Chowen. Awesome. So we want to get to know you guys a little. Obviously, we've got a big group of folks and maybe a few more people joining us. So we would love for you to do a quick introduction into the chat. I'm going to copy paste what we're asking of you. And then if you could put into the chat your response in this format. So what we would like to hear from you is your first name, what city you're currently in, and then if you're in America, state and USA, or if you're outside of America, if you can tell us, your state or province, if you happen to be in a state or province, and also what country you're in as well. And then we also want to know what's the last thing you had to eat today. Hopefully you've eaten today. While you're typing all that, I'll share with Tanya. Tanya, I had a delicious chicken burrito from this tortilleria around the corner from where we were getting our car smogged. So that's the last thing I had today. What is the last thing you had to eat?
I celebrated Taco Tuesday with Tanya.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Taco.
Okay, so we both had Mexican food. Excellent.
And I'm glad to hear that you both ate, because I have had meetings with them. I say, I've been starving. I haven't eaten.
Okay, I'm looking at the chat now here. Vicky had a torta. That sounds delicious. Ooh, Lucy, some Italian food. Hey there, Chloe. Ooh, crepes, Maddie. That sounds great. And everybody else, we'd love for you to, peruse the chat to get to know a little bit more about where the rest of your cohort is from. We hope that all of you, as you work together over this year, get to know each other really well and become good friends. Hopefully you can rely on each other as peers with, looking for advice. Or we've had some folks from earlier cohorts meet up in person, which has been awesome. Megan, waffles. Okay, that's great. Oh, corn chips and iced coffee. What a snack. What a snack. Oh, barbecue tofu, Alexandra. I love that.
Corn is my twin. We ate tacos, but not together.
Amazing. Ellie, I want to know if your ramen noodles were like instant ramen, like in your dorm room, or if you went and had them for good.
That's what I was thinking. My kids will have those as breakfast. They have like the instant pho or like instant ramen as breakfast.
Right.
And
Yeah. Add an egg, it's instant breakfast. Oliviana burrito bowl. Okay, close to what I had. Ooh, Axel smoked salmon. Fancy.
Ooh.
More ramen, Melina. Excellent. Oh, and Cincinnati and Lexington, you guys are close by. You could have met halfway for ramen.
For ramen.
Halfway.
Cool. Oh, more ramen. Yeah, okay. Oh, Eli, just instant ramen. Well, throw an egg on it. It's instantly fancy. Cool. All right. Well, welcome everybody. So typically we'll get each of our sessions started off with a couple discussion questions. Today we're going to start with our main first topic, which is introduction to conducting fundamentals. We know that some folks in our Zoom are brand new beginners without any conducting experience, and we also have some folks who have a little bit or quite a bit of conducting experience, just depending on where your path has taken you. So when we ask you questions, we're asking you to draw on your own experience or your own thoughts or opinions, and all of those are valid no matter where you are on your journey and your level experience. Later on today, we are going to do some more conducting exercises that are designed to help you just feeling more comfortable and confident about where you are at. And then we're going to do some breakouts where we will focus on some more introductory level techniques with Tanya and some more advanced techniques with myself. As we go through every month, we'll always do a little bit of conducting, even when the day's topic is focusing on something else. So you'll get lots of experience and hopefully some exercises to just add to your vocabulary and take home with you. So our questions, our first question, and we're going to ask you to type in the chat, what brought you to this mentorship program? And as you think about that and as you type it out, it can be short, it could be a little bit longer. If we see something we have a question about or want to hear more about, we may call you by name if you're feeling comfortable to unmute your Zoom and share a little bit more about your thoughts or experiences. But that is our first question. We want to know why you're here.
Everybody looks very serious typing. I'm so excited to read everybody's response.
What brought you here, Tanya? I made you.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Well, I'm here because I feel like when I was starting out my career, I felt like I didn't have a female role model, or a mentor. So I am here because I am trying to give you all what I didn't have.
Oh,
Caitlin.
beautiful. Yeah, basically kind of the same thing. Like I feel like I had mentors growing up, but they were always male mentors. And so I never really had somebody as a role model kind of showing me how that path would work as a woman. And so having this program is, that Chowin came up with is such an awesome opportunity for us to kind of put that ladder down for a generation below us and help people climb up to where they want to be. Okay, it looks like some answers are coming in. Tanya and Chowan, if you see anything you want to ask a question about or hear a little bit more about, feel free to ask the person who wrote it.
It reads like a lot of the folks here get to know about us from someone's recommendation, like from a teacher, and that is really exciting to hear that people are telling others about our program.
Love to see all the music education majors. We were music education majors too back in the day.
And I just wanted to add that we open all of our programs to non-binary folks as well. So, but that doesn't mean that we want to exclude you in any way by focusing only on women. So please don't take that as offense. But if at any point if anything is making you uncomfortable, please reach out to us. We will make sure we address any of the concerns. But please know that I found it because I wanted to really help a lot of girls. I have two girls myself, so it's important for me. But I think anyone who is not cisgendered men is who we want to support. Just putting that plant out there because just they are a lot more privileged in this industry, as you probably have experienced. Of course, outside of the conducting industry, of course as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, a couple of folks here that I got to work with in honor bands. That's fun. Hi, everybody. Cool. Awesome. Anything, Tanya, you wanted to learn a little more about from anybody?
Zoe, I think that's how it's pronounced, Zoe F. Um, talking about getting rid of the imposter syndrome. I think that's so fascinating because I think, as we go into the discussions and think about our own experiences, we all come from different backgrounds that I'm just so excited to, hear about. But imposter syndrome is something definitely we're going to touch on. So get ready for that, friends.
Absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, this is great. I hope that we can come through and be the space and the community that all of you look like you are seeking. I'll move on to the next question we have. We just have a couple before we move into our actual activities for the day. The next question I want you to think about is, who has inspired you in music so far in your musical upbringing, education, career? And in addition, if you want to think outside of music, if you have any personal inspirations, people you know or people you look up to in any other industry or any other part of your life, we would love to hear who is inspiring you right now.
Joanne, who inspires you?
I was just thinking that's a really hard question. I'm always very bad at those like role model and inspiration questions. I think all the people who come before me, um what's a good word to describe that? That sounds a little generic, maybe, but whenever I look at people that have fought what we're fighting, and also all of you, like you're the reason why we are here. We otherwise we'll just have a program that no one is interested and we have no one to support. So oh my god, my Zoom just told me that the program thought I was speaking Ukrainian, so they were asking me if I wanted to switch to being
Oh,
to
that
Ukrainian. Oh my gosh. Program.
Oh, I love, Chloe, how you said that composers are pushing you to be better. If you want to unmute yourself, Chloe, I'm interested what composers are like inspiring you these days.
Um, when I was a junior in high school, we flew Matt Campbell out and I got to play a solo in one of his pieces and like knowing that it was written for an oboe but we didn't have one, so like it was on me to like play that solo. Like it empowered me to like do better and practice that piece more than the others. I still practiced a lot. And then I also went to an honor band where Kalijah Dunton was there. And so, like, working with him, it was like they put a lot of time and effort into writing the music. So I think that I should put a lot of time and effort into both playing and then eventually conducting their music.
That's awesome. I know Kalijah and Matt. Matt's got such an incredible story as well. He's killing it. He's doing great stuff. Maddie F, I'm curious, since your band directors growing up were women, so you had women role models. Have there been instances where you've noticed more issues being a woman in music, being a little bit gender marginalized, even though you came up through programs where women were always kind of that role model for you? Have you dealt with that?
Absolutely. When I first got to college, I was one of maybe two students in my music ed class who were in the band track, especially. There were lots of choral students and general music students and some orchestral students who were female identifying or non-binary. And I was like one of the very few band, and I felt isolated and like my voice wasn't heard in that my intro music ed class as much. And so that really, and I communicated that to my professor, and he's the one who got me into this group and got me interested in you guys. So yeah, I'm very thankful that I spoke my mind about it and was able to find more people and reach out.
That's awesome to hear. Glad that you've been able to, hit that a little bit later when maybe you have some more preparation and also find some resources to help you. Tanya, do you see any that you want to ask a question about or follow up on?
I'm meeting so many. I just love how, the thing that's interesting about this is how much of like our teachers are the ones that inspire us, and seeing how many of you guys are music ed. It's just the circle of life. I love it.
While we're letting folks take a little more time to post their answers, is there anybody who wants to unmute and speak a little bit more about somebody who inspires you, or share some details or any thoughts you have so far? We'll always have little awkward pauses just to make sure if anyone wants to unmute, you have the time to, but it's always optional. Don't worry if you're not ready to share.
Kendra wants to go.
Oh, great. Go ahead.
I think it was kind of interesting in my case. I had a few female teachers and mentors, but once I got to college, I realized how many of my professors were actually female or non-binary, and it was kind of like overwhelming the amount of success that has been made. And ever since then, it's kind of been just like bam, bam, bam. Oh my gosh, there's so many amazing people doing all of this. And so to be able to be part of this program, to meet even more, to learn with more, it feels really good. And just, I didn't really know it was a possibility until I went to college and was able to see other people doing this.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Axel, do you want to share a little bit more about Julie Giroux and what she's meant to you? Maybe what music of hers you've played before?
Yeah, sorry, I need to get the train of thought going.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
No, I just love like all of her work. My band teacher in high school, my senior year, has played a lot of her work, and she was the guest composer at an honor band I went to senior year, which was like really incredible because she had a little just casual discussion with us at like dinner for like people who want to do like composing, which was really awesome.
That's really cool. I heard she's pretty fun at honor bands and in
Oh
clinics.
yeah.
Oh
She told
yeah.
us about how she was like speeding down like some deserted highway at 137 miles per hour.
Oh my goodness.
She's like, she was trying to describe how to like to play the music. She's like, yeah, just like when you're driving down the freeway at 137, like speeding, like she's like, yeah, I've done that before. My last ticket was for 137 miles per hour.
Oh,
I thought you have to go to jail if you drive that fast. So maybe not the best role model in every regard, but
No,
fun
apparently like the
example.
police officer like pulled her over being like, yo, can I do that? Because she like refurbishes like old cars.
Wow.
And she's like, yeah, can I follow you behind with the siren in the police truck? And he's like, absolutely not.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, she was so fun.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, would anybody else like to share any more thoughts on this topic of inspiration?
Hannah.
Go ahead.
So I'm an upcoming high school senior, and until about October of last year, I had still wanted to go into biology. And eventually it was like a rash decision one day. I went up to my band director. His name is Paul Leskowitz. He's more in like jazz band stuff, but he's the band director. And I went up to him and I was like, Mr. Leskowitz, I want to do music education. I don't know what I'm doing. And he immediately then he scheduled a time and he was like, you're going to come into my office and I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm going to show you good schools. And that was just kind of like the first really big step for me. And then eventually I found this program by myself and now I'm feeling awesome about music ed.
So great. Megan.
Megan.
Okay, so my sister, actually, she was going to be a music major, and then she didn't end up doing it just for life reasons, her own reasons. But she and I have talked a lot about how she didn't really have any female or female presenting people growing up because she's like 14 years older than I am. So she didn't really see that in the music scene. And I, on the other hand, my first ever band director was a woman. Um, but I think it's just really important to continue pushing the importance of women and non-binary people in male dominated spaces, because even though it's gotten better, it's still, I feel like it's not where it should be, and it's really important to let like everybody know that you can do what you want to do in your life and be successful with it.
Thank you, Megan. That was so inspiring. I'm inspired by you. All right. We will transition to our last question for this little segment, which will then get us into the conducting stuff. So, last question for you today to answer for us. Name some qualities that are most important in an effective conductor. So, what does it take? And you can be really specific and technical to like the actual rehearsal or concert, or you can be more broad and general about personality or characteristics, whatever comes to mind. Hannah was ready to go with that answer. Oh man.
I was laughing because when I saw emotion, that my first reaction was, oh, like being able to control your own emotion. Don't lash on your ensemble. And then I was like, oh, thing.
Prepared. I like that. Preparation. And I think that's interesting, right? To think about what isn't right in front of you. Preparation happens, off the podium, before the podium.
Real quick, a couple of you are accidentally direct messaging me. So if you can double check if it shows in red, direct message to Caitlin, copy paste and repost it, making sure that it's to everyone in meeting so we can all see it. Tanya, you want to take a couple that you see?
You're going so fast. I'm a slow reader. I'm working on it.
I think we should can like put this into like a chart for next week to see like how many people said certain things. Seeing lots of
Oh, Addie, vulnerability. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, I think that I never was really interested in conducting. And then after my conducting teacher was like, I worked with him and he was like super inspiring. Like his big thing was just like being vulnerable and being like so yeah, like what Megan said, like not being afraid to like make a fool of yourself. I totally agree with that. Like I think in order to portray the character, you have to be like like a child reacting to the music and like yeah, and it's so important. And I love the vulnerability aspect of conducting. Like it's so I never realized how scary it was, like being in front of like a ensemble and like it's so important though. Yeah.
I completely agree. And I think part of this is, going up there and like literally everybody's looking at your body and how you express sound in front of a gigantic ensemble, um, is incredibly vulnerable in addition to how you approach, uh, you know, making connections and all these things. The first time that I ever did my conducting final, my fly was open the whole time. And so that was back at Eastman. I think Cha Wen might have been there actually. So talk about vulnerability. There it was.
Yeah, just full disclosure, Tanya was my student.
That's really funny. Let's talk about kindness maybe for a second. I know, when you think about the 19th century conductor, it's like a lot of people talk about their tempers and how they need everything their way. And that was like such a good quality of a conductor for so long. That kindness is, or empathy. A couple of you mentioned empathy. Like those are almost the opposite. Does anybody want to speak to why maybe we think this opposite quality of kindness and empathy is more important these days? Maddie F.
You're muted.
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
sorry. I've been on the receiving end of a maybe not so nice conductor. It was probably just a bad day. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But being on the receiving end and being told that, you're faking your part and you don't know it in front of a whole group of musicians who you respect so much is like mortifying. And I never want to make my future students feel like that. And I feel like it's so important because you never know what's going on in a student's life. You don't know their personal things. And especially in such a large ensemble, it's hard to make those connections personally unless you put in the time outside of classes. And yeah, so I never want to make someone nervous to come to my ensemble or scared or hate a piece of music because I called them out on something that they were just having a bad day on.
Wow. Sorry that happened to you, but I'm glad you were able to learn from it. It sounds like in a way that is going to help you balance out the universe a little bit. Wow. How about Mads? You want to share?
I think it has a lot to do with the principle in education, where if you lack positive reinforcement in the classroom, your students will no longer want to take risks because they're not receiving any reinforcement for those risks. And as conductors, we kind of need the ensemble to be ready to go off into the abyss with us. And yelling at people is not always the most effective way to build trust. And kindness and empathy are how you build that foundational trust. And once you're there, once you know your ensemble, maybe you can be a little bit harder on them if you're like approaching a performance date kindly, not being rude, obviously, but having that beginning point of that was a really good thing. I appreciate that you tried that. I appreciate that you're taking risks. Please keep doing that.
That's really wise. Thank you so much for sharing. How about Alexandra?
Hey everyone. So obviously, both things that were just said were super right. So I don't have too much to say, but I want to say overall that an ensemble places a lot of trust in a conductor, and because you're asking an entire group of people to trust you. I am going to guide you through this, and we're a team. We're working together, and I really don't feel like you need that kindness or let me rephrase here, showing kindness as a conductor, you need to realize that people in your ensemble are more than just sounds of an instrument. There are people behind those instruments, and you need to work with those people. It's not just about the sound. It's not just about creating an auditory experience. It's about creating a human experience, and you can't achieve that without kindness.
Excellently said. Thank you. And Megan, let's take the last comment and we'll move on to our next topic.
So from my personal experience, just this last week, I was coaching a camp of younger students, like sixth, seventh grade. And I found myself getting a little frustrated about their lack of retention from what we had talked about from previous days, but it's so important. And what I realized is this is one of their first experiences, especially outside of school. So it's on me to make sure that I'm taking them into my care because that's what they're there for. Like I am caring for them at that moment in time. And it's so important to leave good, long lasting impressions because, especially for younger students, it could be like that. They could have one bad experience with a teacher and they're done. They're done with music. And it's just music should be like such a good and positive um experience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right. So talked a little bit about the kindness and compassion and empathy side of conducting. And we will definitely be getting into more of that later in our season. But for now, we're going to turn it into some more technical stuff. But I would relate it actually to when we talk about kindness and empathy and compassion, we also need to have that for ourselves, right? As conductors and music leaders. So we're going to do a few exercises right now that does focus on the technicality of conducting, the physicality of conducting, and also thinking about if there are any challenges that we have with kindness, empathy, and compassion for ourselves that we may need to overcome. So for this next activity, it's going to be some body movements. We would like you to find a space, if you're not already in that space, where you can stand up and move. If you're not in a place where you can stand up, you can do these seated, but it's a little bit easier to do standing. I'm going to push my setup back so I have a little bit more room to move around. I will be moving a lot of like upper body, arms, try to have some room where you can put your arms fully 360 degrees all around you. And I'll be doing a lot of modeling for this, and Tanya may. And if anybody else wants to volunteer, as we get into an exercise of leading the exercise for a bit, you're always welcome to volunteer to do so. We will never force you to do so, but it would involve us pinning your video so other folks can watch you. So let's take that minute to kind of get ourselves situated so we can be standing if possible. And the idea on this exercise, and this is something I see in a lot of young conductors, is if we are not comfortable with our own bodies and we are not comfortable with the way our bodies move, then it's very hard to be as expressive as we could be when we need to as a conductor, showing cues, pattern, tempo, style, weight, physically, non-verbally with our bodies. So the first thing I'd like us to do is we're going to practice a move a couple times. So I'll show you the move, and they're relatively simple, basic moves you've probably done before, but maybe not in this context. So the first move I'm going to have us do is from a relaxed standing position. I want you to shoot your arms out as far as possible, and you're going to hold it there, and you're going to feel the weight of your arms being held with strength, okay? And so we're going to just do that movement a few times. And the idea is to really feel what our wingspan, our stretch is, the capacity of our arms coming out of our shoulders and our chest a couple times. All right, so let's try that together and shoot our arms. Feel that. Excellent. And relax. Bring your arms up again. We're going to do that again. Shoot. And relax. This time when you shoot, I want you to actually shoot and bring your arms a little bit behind you so your chest opens up. And I want you to feel a little bit of vulnerability. Oh, thank you so much for the spotlight. I want you to feel a little bit of vulnerability with your chest being opened. Okay, let's try that together and shoot and get those arms back so you feel the stretch up here and you feel a vulnerability. Let's do that one again and open up, chest out. This time, I want you to add one more move, and we're going to bring our head up, And that head up where you're not necessarily looking at the horizon is going to add a little bit to your vulnerability because you don't have complete visibility of the room. So when we shoot our arms out, our chest is going to open up, our head's going to come up a little bit. And so essentially you're just creating this really open space with your torso, and you're going to hold it there again quite firmly until we relax. Let's try that together. And shoot, open up. It's almost like we're about to take a swan dive. And relax. And one more time, shoot and open up and relax. Okay, the last one we're gonna do, and this is silly, but we're gonna do all those moves we just added. And the last thing we're gonna do is open our eyes as wide as possible and open our mouth as wide as possible as well. Studies have shown actually that you can help energize yourself just by opening your eyes and mouth wide. It can generate maybe a yawn, which kind of can help you to wake up a little bit more if you need to as well. But a lot of times our confidence can come from our alertness. And so adding that last step will help hopefully you feel a little bit alert and also maybe help you feel a little bit silly doing this in front of other people, which when we do silly things in front of other people with confidence or just with repetition to the point where it becomes neutral, that also helps us to build confidence. So one last time, it's shooting, it's opening, it's going up, opening the eyes and opening the mouth as wide as possible. Don't worry, nobody else is looking at you. Here we go. And go. And relax. Shake that out. And one more time. And relax. So I encourage you, if you're ever working on conducting technique, that little exercise, adding little by little to open yourself up and to get yourself a little bit more alert from that perspective can be a great way of putting yourself into a nice centered space. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is some movements with our arms with the idea of a clock. So we're going to hold our arms over our heads, which is our 12 o'clock position. And then you can keep your feet about hip width apart so you have some balance there. But what I'd like us to do, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be mirroring you and be kind of opposite what you're doing, but we're going to move around the clock. So I want you to find your 1 o'clock position. You're going to just basically move slightly over. And then as we move to 2 and then 3, you're going to notice that your body may come a little bit with you, but for the most part, keep your head up. We go to 5 to 6 right in front of us. How about for 6, you bring your shoulders down as far as they can go. For 7, bye chowin. For 8, for 9, we're going up to 10. At some point, you might want to kind of rotate your arms a little bit. 11 and 12. Awesome. Let's shake that out. We're going to do it one more time where we're kind of locking in place. Again, the idea of this exercise is just feeling comfortable with our body being open in kind of a weird configuration that we don't typically do. And it gives us an opportunity to really feel the outward expanse of where our body is capable of moving and showing information so that when we come in to actually do conducting, we know where that palette is, right? This is our big palette. We very rarely use the whole big palette, but we use middle, small palette quite often. And just having that control of our body to know like exactly where our hands, our arms, anything is gonna go will help us to be more confident. Okay, so one more time, 12 to 12. Here we go. And 12, and 1, and 2, and 3. We're doing it in time. 4, 5, 6, 7, shoulders are down. 8, start to come up. 9, twist up to 10, 11, and 12. Shake it out. We're going to do that exercise one more time, but this time we're going to be like the second hand on like a Swiss watch or a Rolex where it just like glides super smoothly. So the idea is we're going to take that time that I just gave you, but we're going to try to roll smoothly through each of them without pausing. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's come on up here. I'll count you off. Try to glide through them smoothly. Ready, begin. And 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. So those are some exercises you can incorporate just into feeling yourself, feeling your body, feeling the expanses and the areas you're capable of moving yourself, which will give you greater control over your body, greater confidence in your body, and therefore relate into that conducting as well. We are going to, let's see what's next. We'll probably do some of other exercises like this as well, but I want to make sure we have time. Okay, we're going to do another thing, and I'm going to give you access to this playlist that I've been creating, and also give you a mini homework assignment to try and find more videos for me to add to this playlist. So you can actually sit down now if you want. If you want to stay standing, that's fine. But the playlist we're going to watch a few videos off of is designed to give you some inspiration for how to move your hands and how to move your fingers when conducting. So I'm gonna come back down into a seated position here because I have to find the playlist here on YouTube. So I'm going to share my screen, and my playlist, like I said, that I'm going to share with you are all videos of things that I have found that are either in nature or in dance that inspire me as a conductor for vocabulary. So it's items from nature, or it's dance choreography techniques where I say, wow, that's a beautiful move. Think it's really expressive. It's something that I could bring into my own movement and be able to express something with conducting. And so I'll watch these videos and try to do the things in the videos with my own hands, arms, or body. So I'm going to give you some examples. We're going to try together as we watch this video, and then we'll just watch a couple of them. And like I said, I'll remind you in an email, but the homework assignment is see if you can find before next month another video of something you find inspiring to relate to conducting. So let's watch these. They don't need sound at all, so we're just going to watch the videos. Share screen. There we go. And share. Okay, can everybody see my screen here? Good, awesome. First one, a jellyfish. Turn that sound down. I don't know why, but it's Pachelbel's canon. So we're watching the jellyfish. Can you, with whatever, maybe your dominant hand first, probably most people right hand, can you follow the jellyfish's move? And just see if you can kind of create that same shape. It's floating, but it's energized. There's an opening and a close. There's more tension on the opening and more relaxation on the close. And you can go all the way up to the edge of your screen if you want, just like the jellyfish is floating away. And then maybe try with the other hand, really watching what it's doing and trying to mimic. Typically, our non-dominant hand won't do what we want it to do as easily. And a good reminder that doing more practice on your non-dominant hand will help that hand be more expressive.
That is super key to spend time on that.
Yeah, right. I feel like I'm like, oh no, my left hand is so not a jellyfish compared to my right hand. This one's kind of laying there, but it's laying there very graceful, right? Try to be the graceful little, that's a moon jelly. That's a moon jelly, right? Yes. The first one was a Pacific sea nettle. Okay, now this one's got a little movement going. Maybe these finger movements, maybe you could do it with both hands if you want to practice your mirroring. And these could be good for like a nice little like release of a cue, like the cueing a release of something. Or it could show like a nice legato line. Yeah, very good. Okay, for time's sake, we have to move on and watch a different one. Oh, this one's interesting. This is a strandbeest from the Netherlands, and it's this guy that puts together these interesting little creatures that blow along the sand in the wind on the beach. So let's watch its little feet and see if you can kind of create that same little, almost a caterpillar shape with your fingers. Again, what we're trying to focus on is bringing organic shape into all the digits and hinges and joints of our hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders. We see kind of the wave starting to happen on the back side of it. That wave shape. Do it with your non-dominant hand. I'm terrible with my left hand. Really trying to free those fingers from each other, right? Give yourself lots of finger independence on this one. Nice. There's a little, if you want to practice, there's like a little plotting action happening with the front feet, which you know, we have all types of styles and weights and speeds in music. So maybe not every single thing we might practice like this would relate perfectly to a conducting pattern or a conducting cue, but just practicing them gives you that vocabulary from which to draw from. Okay, let's try another video. This one is wheat in the wind. Can we be wheat in the wind? Maybe you want to get the rest of your body into this a little bit. Oh, Tanya, you're fast. You're fast wheat. Or try, if you were going side to side, I started side to side, but maybe try forward and back too. Like that could be an interesting way of doing it. Some of you are going, what did I sign up for? And that's okay. Okay, this one is just some dance hand gestures. So this is coming from the dance side of things. But if you can try to just mimic what she's doing. We don't really ever focus on this type of stuff in conducting. Some conducting teachers do, but for the most part, this is it's in its own little world. It's in the dance world. And why not steal it from them, right? It works. Let's steal. Steal what works. Just give credit. We'll let her do a couple more. Let's try this one.
I like how she uses her different like expanses in this one.
Well, can't see her up there. And like I said, I'm going to make this playlist available for everybody if you want to do these. Okay, pretend you're knitting. Any knitters? A couple of you, Mads, Alexandra. Oh, I bet everyone. Gen Z, y'all love your knitting and crocheting, which I love because I'm a crocheter. Okay, so she has got a couple more on this video, but we're going to move on. This one is for Peking opera or Beijing opera, and they do a lot of amazing hand gestures in Beijing opera. So if you want to just follow along, if you're inspired any of these are some pretty cool moves that we could maybe incorporate into conducting. Whenever I do these, I feel like, oh, I'm so graceful. I love this. Is like, this is the confidence booster just to do these moves. Okay, so those are some moves. There's a whole big video list, like I said, and your homework is going to be find another video to add to our list so we can keep expanding this repertoire. But I have a question for you. Let me stop sharing screen. There it is. Stop share. How about drop in the chat? So far, what are you thinking about some of these exercises? Jellyfish. Yeah, the Strand Beast Sandwalker. That's a really cool like whole art form you should check out if you were inspired. Mimicking nature is exactly what I needed to find better gestures. I love that. Oh, good, Zoe. Cool. Awesome. Well, it's actually crazy enough. It is time for our break. So we're going to take a 5-minute break and we're like a minute behind. So let's call the 5-minute break from 51 right now.
We're 2 minutes behind.
Oh no. Okay, I lied. 52 to 57. 5-minute break. You can mute your video. If you don't want to leave, if you want to unmute and chat with whoever's here, that's fine. But great time to go get a drink or a snack, use the bathroom, do some jumping jacks, practice your Beijing opera move.
Jellyfish. Yes.
Yeah, jellyfish.
I think I will do that one. We're also here to talk to you if you have any questions or anything at all.
And it's getting recorded, so you won't miss anything if you go to the bathroom.
That's right.
Megan,
go ahead.
Okay, while we were doing the hand movements, I felt like my watch was getting in the way. Like,
well,
do
your
you
watch
conduct?
might be so tight that it's like, because is that an Apple Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's got a pretty thick band, and so
Uh-huh.
the tightness it needs to be to do your like biometric stuff, and the fact that it's an Apple Watch band, that may be kind of making your wrist a little bit on the stiff side.
Okay.
I have conducted with the watch, but for the most part, I don't have any like jewelry at all when I conduct. But you could potentially maybe swap out that band for a thinner like jewelry style band, and that might help like it just be a little bit more low profile.
Okay.
The thing that you might want to consider is like some of the bands have like a very specific distance that you have. There's one that's like it's very, very customizable, that is like to the exact length that you need. That might be
cool.
helpful.
Okay. Thanks.
Because I literally was just grappling with that one like a couple months ago. So if you need links, let me know.
Thank you.
Okay, Cassandra, thanks so much for being here. When you feel a little bit better, it'd be great for you to watch the next little bit that you're gonna miss, but hopefully you get some rest and feel better for next time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Tanya, should I name your room the thing we talked about?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Caitlin, do you know a Derek Weigel?
Sorry, say the last name.
Weigel?
I know too many people that I've forgotten all their names.
No, that's okay. I remember they said they know a Caitlin at
okay
at Girls Who Conduct, so I thought
that it's me.
yeah.
Okay, spell his last name for me.
Weagle. They teach at Adelphi and also
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yes. I don't know if we've ever met in person, but I think we're like
really?
Maybe we have. Dude, my short-term memory is garbage. So maybe we did. I don't know. Tell him I said hi.
I will.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, Mads, you have, what is this? Oh, a magnetic wristband for, is that for like your watch? Oh, perfect. So Megan, Mads just put into the chat what you should buy for your watch. Annie.
Hi, I just want to say a lot of those videos, they reminded me of like lob on technique a lot, but I felt like because I did a lot of lob on in my like conducting classes last year. But I felt like those were a lot more freeing. Like I felt like with lob on it was like very like, no, you're not doing it, you're not doing dab the exact right way, or that's more this than whatever. So
Yeah,
I like
Laban,
those a lot better.
great. Oh, thank you. Laban is great for giving you that vocabulary, but I agree, it created a technique and a vocabulary for technique's sake. Whereas this approach is like focusing on like, this stuff's already there. We're just gonna pick it up. And I think it's more universal, right? Because it's like, I think a lot of times, if you're a conductor and you're going like, well, this is how I think that's supposed to look, but it's like, at the end of the day, everybody's seen a jellyfish, So those are hopefully helpful.
I
Okay.
think to me, it's like there's a great kind of process too, is just to explore, your own body and how you feel about certain things. And, the thing that we are trying to figure, for you to figure out your experience and all these things is it's exploratory a little bit, versus like, all right, you're doing Don Juan and this is what it's supposed to look like, so um, which I have heard personally, and it was hurtful. Um, so I think keep that in mind that there's always a key like point in why maybe how you want to approach problem solving certain things.
I love that. Free the baton. Okay, we're back. We had a great break. We are gonna break into some. Well, let me just share for the rest of the day. We have about half an hour left, lots to do. We're gonna break into some breakout rooms. There are two. One is gonna be more for beginner conductors. If you've had a tiny bit of experience or no experience, this will be a great place for you. If you've taken a conducting course already, like in college, or you've had a significant amount of experience for our framework of being still new and a student of conducting, you'll come with me. So those are the rooms, and you get to pick. I'm opening them right now. So if everybody can hop into the room they feel most comfortable with, we're just going to do some more exercises that are pinpointed to each of these groups of people. Once again, designed to help you take these exercises away and use them on your own as well. Following that,
Caitlin, do we want to?
Yeah.
Oh, do we want to go into like 9:12 or so? Does that sound
Yeah,
good?
sure. Sounds good.
Okay, let's do 9:12.
Get in those rooms. And if you need help getting in a room, you can unmute and let us know you're trapped.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to get into a room.
Okay, which room do you want to be in, Vicky?
No, non-experienced.
Okay.
Beginner.
You're coming with
The
me.
fundamentals.
We're putting the fun in fundamental.
Vic.
All right. Is anybody else stuck?
I'm sorry.
I
I also
can't get
don't know
anything.
how to.
No problem. Sorry, who's speaking? Claire? No.
I think a few of us.
Okay. So Vicky, I just sent you. Good. Let's see. Axel, which room do you want to go?
Experienced.
More experience. Oop, I just put you in the wrong room. Let me fix that.
I can say not now.
Move to okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
Claire, I'm gonna send you to intermediate. Bye.
Chloe, what room do you want to go to?
Can I go to the experienced, please?
Yes.
Ooh, somebody just came back. Lucy, which one are you going to?
The beginner one, please.
Yeah, amazing.
Oliviana, which room?
I'll say experienced.
Experience. Great.
Thank you.
Lucy. Oh, you got Lucy already, right?
Yep.
Velada, we are sending folks into a more advanced room and a less like a beginner room for conducting. Which room would you prefer to be in? We'll put you in the intermediate. I think you have some experience, so I'm going to join you over there. Okay, hi, friends. Let me see what's going on with our breakouts. Long time no see. Close all rooms. Okay, we're bringing everybody back together. Okay, so for the next 10 minutes, it's going to be a Q&A time, and this is going to be completely whatever topics you want to take it to. So I'll hold off on that reminder until everybody's back, but start thinking about some questions.
Oh, recording is definitely in progress. Caitlin, where are you? I can't. Oh, there you are.
Okay, is everybody back?
I think so.
Great. All right. So I was just telling the folks that got back a little early, our next and final 10 minutes here before we say goodbye is going to be an open Q&A session. So we'll finish every meeting every month with open Q&A. This can be any topic you want. I mean, try to focus on music and conducting, but women in leadership is, broadly questions like that. It can be questions directed at Tanya and myself, Tanya or myself, or even the whole room, especially if you want, peer ideas, peer support. So you can either ask a question by sending it to Tanya, or if you want her to read it out loud for you, like if you want it to be an anonymous question, you can send it to Tanya as a private message, a direct message, or if you want to just ask the whole room, you can raise your hand, we'll call on you, and then you can unmute. So this time is yours.
Your space, your choice. Zoe?
Okay. I just have a question about what type of baton do I buy? Like, I have to buy
Oh,
one for my instrumental conducting class at school, and then I think we have to have one. Was it next session? Or there's so many, and some are like so cheap, and then some are so expensive. I was like, So, what's your guys' advice on that?
Caitlin, you can take this one.
Well, I would say anybody who has a baton they love, you should drop in the chat what the brand and how you got it is. But yes, there are definitely lots. I mean, I have the same baton I got when I was your age getting like my conducting class baton. So I would say if you can afford one that's slightly nicer, it will pay off in the long run, and they're not supposed to break. So you could have this thing for decades and decades and decades. My first baton was a Newland baton. My current baton is a Chris Blunt custom. I'm going to drop these into the chat. Those are, I would say, really great combination of being both somewhat affordable and really well made. They're not going to send you a baton that's garbage. That being said, if you're just like, hey, I'm broke, I just need something to wave, they do have these cork batons on Amazon that are fine. They're well constructed. It's not going to be the best balance, but they're going to be like $10. So if you were in a pinch and you just needed something to get you through the class, it's not the end of the world. But let's have everybody share in the chat if you have batons you like. I'll put my two in there. So my favorite is. And then also they should take, like, if you get some sent to you and you don't like it, they should be able to do an exchange until you find one you're happy with. Did you want to say something, Tanya?
Yeah, I think, I think a popular one is the Mallard, it seems, and if you go to like any bookstore, best bet for right now until you go to like a conference where they use like the tables of beautiful, expensive, amazing baton. Anything that you feel comfortable with, that's a good place to start.
There's a lot of batons being made right now that are kind of like fun, special, wow, and like they'll be made out of glass or like metal maybe. I'm super happy with wood batons. I think they're weighted more properly and the feel of the wood in your hand, which is like never going to be like too cold or too hot or whatever. I'm a big fan of that. So I always go for wood, and I stay away from any other material, but some other people may really swear by those other materials. Oh, these are great. Oh, acrylic.
So we have
yeah.
So we have a bunch of questions that got sent to me, a bunch.
Okay.
So here's the deal before we start tackling them. Any questions that are not answered, I will table them to the next in a parking lot to the next session. The next sessions will be a little bit different, where there will be a different mentor here who will, present you guys on something. But we will always, I promise you, come back to your question. But I kind of want to take this one. This one's fun. Ready? Have you met someone or had this problem who has bigger boobs and had harder time with conducting due to that? I am going to take this question. Here we go. So here's the deal. I think, first of all, like, because of the way that, like, I am a big girl, I know that I move differently than like Caitlin does. Like, even like the thing with the swan thing that we were doing earlier, I was getting jiggy with it, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. I'm feeling it. So the thing that I have learned during that time is, like, and this is weird to say, get a good bra. You're supposed to get new bras like once a year, just FYI. So just, just so you know. But like, get a good bra, wear something that feels comfortable for you, and wear something that you feel confident in. But in terms of the movement, I do have to navigate it a bit. And in order to do that, I really think about, how I move, but also I look in the mirror and I practice, and I'm watchful. Um, Caitlin, do you have anything to add to that?
I was just gonna say that I think the breast size question is really all about your own comfort. Don't ever worry about you will unfortunately probably get comments from stupid people at points in your life. Water off the back, just focus on your own comfort level. And if you are comfortable, then you're going to be confident and you're going to be doing your job. So focus on that and don't worry about like, oh, but I need to wear this because of what somebody else might think or say.
Absolutely. So focus on yourself. Yep. Love that messaging. I like this question. Could you and Caitlin talk a little bit about your educational journeys and what brought you into conducting and leadership? Caitlin, why don't you go first?
Thank you. We probably should have shared more of that at the beginning, but now we're getting the question.
Hey, we are running out of time.
I started on, I think, piano in 3rd grade, flute in 4th grade. I grew up doing school band, and when I was in 6th grade, I was having so much fun in school band that I wanted to be a school band director. So I did my bachelor's degree in music education, flute primary, at University of the Pacific in Stockton, California, which is just kind of in the center of the state. I did my master's also back there after some teaching experience, also in music education. So I've always been kind of the band focused of person, because I just love band for the repertoire and the community aspect of band so much. And then my doctorate is from University of Kentucky. I think we have a University of Kentucky person here. Yay! And that is in wind conducting. So my doctorate is in conducting, and I got that degree 5 years ago, and I've been a college band director ever since. So that's mine.
Yay, Caitlin. So I didn't start the double bass. I'm a double bassist. And I started in high school. I ended up going to Eastman School of Music for my undergrad, but I had always known that I wanted to be a teacher first. I was one of those kids, like that, for whatever reason, at 4 years old, taught stuff to my stuffed animals. So I always had known that I would be, a teacher. And after Eastman, I went to teach in Texas for 2 years, did the whole honor orchestra thing, was interesting. But then I ended up here in New York. And to me, I often struggle. I I struggle with the imposter syndrome a lot because, unlike Caitlin and all of my mentors now, like I didn't go to school for conducting and I was kind of a teacher that conducting chose me. I ended up doing, Manhattan School of Music pre-college and without a conducting degree. And, you know, the process that I went through, I think feels, really different. But in during that time of learning how to approach that, I'm also going to school. I have two masters from Columbia University. I'm working on my doctorate right now, studying first generation college students. So I am still stubborn about, the conducting degree, but I don't regret like who I've become during that time. So I think, it's also interesting to see like, I mean, if you ask Chow Wen, her story is very different too. I guess like, from our perspective, there's just so many pathways into conducting and you never know what it is, how it's going to resonate in your life. But we're definitely going to talk about that in a month's time. So
Yeah, that was a perfect segue to our topic next month.
yeah.
Chowan, is there one more question where maybe the whole group might have ideas or opinions to can respond to as our final one for today?
They are, I think they're all long, like in
Okay.
terms of, yeah. Why don't I table these for next time?
Okay, sounds good. Well, these are going to always be like super jam-packed and condensed and feels too short, but thank you so much for being here for our first session. With our last couple minutes, we're just going to wrap up and let you know what to expect between now and next time. So this was recorded and we will be uploading and sharing with our entire cohort the recording. So whether you were able to be here or if you were sick and had to miss a month, that's available for you to rewatch if you missed something or want to focus on an exercise, some more information, or just watch something you missed. We will also have a running document of any resources that we share. So for instance, these batons, we may start a little list if anybody is looking for information about that. Next month will be at the same exact time. It's going to be on a Thursday the where is it? 19th of September. And that will also have a guest mentor who will be sharing information about pathways to conducting, pathways to the podium. Michelle Rafrano is a dear friend of ours who started Girls Who Conduct with us, and she is more in the opera sphere these days and a little bit of orchestra as well. So she'll have lots of cool things to share. We'll still have open Q&A time. We'll still have discussion topic time and some conducting exercise time, building off of some of the things that we started this week. So we hope you have a chance to go out and get a baton. If you need help doing that, please let us know through an email. And we were curious if you guys would be interested in starting something like a group chat for yourselves to like throw in little like ideas or questions. Oh, great. Okay. Well, if you do, if you could throw in the chat real quick on your way out, what platform would be the best for you for a group chat? I know there's Discord, there's GroupMe, there's just a giant phone number group chat. I know there's WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger. There's just so many options. Slack. So if you have one that is your favorite, we might use that platform if you seem like a lot of people want to use it. And then a quick reminder too, if you cannot attend next month because of like a huge conflict or you're ill, please reach out and let us know. Because if somebody's just kind of missing and we don't know what's going on, we may assume that you're out and you don't want to participate, and we do have a few people on wait list, so we may be inviting people to join us for the second week or the second month. So that is it. Any questions before we head out?
Thank you so much for all your contributions today.
Yeah, it's just gonna be really fun next 8 months together. So thank you for being here. And we'll send out that email with the recording and just instructions and reminders about next time. You'll also get the email a week before and the day before so you don't lose that link. And we'll see you in a month on September 19th. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good
I just wanted to
night.
say really quick.
Yeah.
Evan says hi, by the way.
Oh, hi, Evan. What
Okay.
about what's your puppy's name again?
Konu, and we have another one, Missy.
Oh, I've never met Missy.
No, she's a nervous wreck.
No, we'll